Doing tonight? Picked up. I've had this car in my inventory for a little while, but I picked up another one because it's back in the shop. But it's the Toyota 2000 GT, and I went ahead and bought a second one. Not that I needed to, but I like the car. I like the look of it. I like the history of it. I believe the motor was built by Yamaha, and I think a lot of the design came from Yamaha as well, which was also part of that Lexus LFA build, where the LFA is one of the best sounding cars ever produced. Let me see if I can find the stock version. Okay, I did not jump into it, so we'll go to manufacturer. But I built one up, and I have one that's stock now. So I don't really, it's not too expensive. It's under $1 million, which is, especially for a Haggerty car, is really inexpensive. But the car is pretty underwhelming. So we're on a couple laps here. Good Lord. I have not touched this in the stock variant. But you can see it's got body roll for days. And I don't know if you picked up on it there, but the car has a massive issue with oversteer. So it might be good for a drift car. I don't know. I think there's going to be much better options out there. If you wanted a drift car, there are no forced induction options. Like, you can't supercharge it, you can't turbo it. It's an NA car. You're probably going to have to get used to hitting the walls. This actually has damage. But in the stock form, I mean, it's dive bombs on braking, it rolls. I don't even want to continue this race. So we'll go ahead and go to the modified version, which in all honesty it's not a whole lot better. And in the modified form, now we can go to last used. In the modified form, I mean, it gets over 600 performance points, but that's on soft tires, so you're not going to be able to use it at most of the tracks. I just tried it on the Tokyo Expressway 600. It can't keep up. It's a little bit of a lazy motor. It sounds good, which, I mean, that's Yamaha all day long. It's got a nice sound to it. But I mean, I'm running Miatas, so I've got the Honda Beat in front of me, maybe, or nope, it's a Sil 80. But this is an end game car, and not in the aspect that it's gonna be worth the money. It's just when you have more money than sense, and I'm not even quite there. They're rotating nicely. This one has a lot of suspension work done to it, so I stiffened it way up. Like it was around like I think the spring rates were like in the 1s, and I have them up in the 3s now. Like, it is happy to rotate for me now. But unless you have a specific class, which I can't think of one, because almost everything is centered around these performance points now, I can't see a good reason to have this car other than just something to put in the garage. And I actually like the history of this car. I mean, this car is possibly the, you know, on that, if you took like the evolutionary, you know, apes to man thing, I feel like this is on the ape side of the Supra. This was pretty high tech for its time. It's actually a really small interior on this car, so you wouldn't actually probably want it in real life either, especially because of the cost that you would have to throw out. And it's a very pretty car, just not a very, oh. So I have too much oversteer on it now. And you can see it, or hear, you can hear it sounds great. It's a beautiful car, but it's also, it's not quick to rev. It's not a quick car at all. The aero options are very limited. Like it's got bumpers that you can remove from it, but that doesn't add any downforce. And then you can put that standard big wing on the back, which I think destroys the look of the car. And this isn't a car you're going to be driving because it's the best option anyway. You're going to drive it because it has that look. But honestly, this is it's a very beautiful car, but it's one of those things that you're probably, there's not a good reason to own it, so you're probably best to steer clear of it until you're just doing the collector thing and trying to fill up that roster. But anyway, this will be kind of a short video just because I don't have a whole lot to say other than I bought it twice and once was more than enough. Either way, I hope you guys have a great night and take care.